Pisces friends, I'm Annie Botticelli and welcome to my Pisces exclusive report for March 2026. I'm going to go over the important dates and events of the month through the lens of Pisces so that you can see how this can affect you personally as a Pisces placement. This is for you if Pisces is your sun sign, your moon sign, your rising sign, or any other Pisces placement we're listening for. What I'm going to talk about here is part of your astrological picture. And if you're a very late degree Pisces friend, so birthdays like March 15th through the rest of the sign, I suggest you additionally listen to my Aries report, as your very late degree friends will benefit from both readings. Now, if you're in a position to be able to write stuff down, you may want to grab a pen. And if you're not, or if you just like a written storyline here, you can go in another browser right now to anniehelpsyou.com and grab your free monthly star report for March, and that will have not only the dates I'm going to talk about here, but all of the aspects of the month, the best, the worst, the in between. So that's a great accompaniment to what I'm going to talk about here, and we'll give you a written version, but I will talk about a lot of hot spots in this report. Okay, so the first most obvious thing we can talk about is that it's Pisces season. It's birthday time for many Pisces placements, and we also have a massive amount of other energy. In Pisces, we've got this big cluster, and Mars is going to very quickly join the party as well. So happy birthday to you if your birthday is happening or if recently happened. Birthdays are an amazing time for a reset and a rebirth, and whether this is your sun or not, the energy of rebirth is still afoot. This first house of the zodiac, the house of Aries, is flooded by Pisces energy during Pisces season for all Pisces placements. And that gives, for all Pisces placements, this chance for a new clean slate, a new cycle, a focus on you, just getting back down to the basics where you're sorting everything out from the ground up and ready to rebuild your life, and starting with what you are feeling, what you're doing, what you want to do, your physical body, how you want to present yourself. This is very internal. It's very you-centric, and it's very much about how you see your true self and how you want to bring that out in the world. So that's a foundation on which we're going to progress. And of course, as the stars are moving through the energy of Pisces, everything becomes either very nonverbal, a quiet understanding, a connectedness to things that is beyond words, and anything verbal can become very poetic, very artistic. This is the language of Pisces. This is the language of the soul, of spirit, of the lesser seen realms. And the language of synchronicity really, really, really lights up beautifully at this time. Synchronicity is the language of spirit, and it speaks through random things like a song that comes on just at a moment that you were thinking of a certain question in your mind. Or if you're asking yourself a question, should I move? And then you look up and there's a moving truck that says move now in front of you. Or there's a certain animal that shows up, and you know that animal is associated with certain things, and that's a message to you. So this period of time is really, really rich with a quiet space of understanding of synchronicities, and it's very magical. As the month progresses, the planets will move into Aries, and we're moving into this very active, decisive, forward-moving type of energy. So you're moving from this cloud of feeling into this fire of movement, and you'll feel that progress as the month progresses. What you'll also feel throughout the month, let's start to talk about some dates here, is that this entire month is covered by retrograde. All right, we're not going to go too much into retrograde except to give you some dates and help you understand the cycle here. One of the many things that are going on in Pisces at this time is a Pisces retrograde. Mercury at 22 degrees back to 8 degrees of Pisces. That's bringing a lot of things back from the past. A lot of thoughts, a lot of ideas, a lot of people, a lot of situations, but artistic projects back from the past. February 12th, the pre-shadow started. February 26th, the official retrograde started. Goes until March 20th when Mercury is officially direct. And it takes until around April 10th for Mercury to kind of get clear of that hangover of having been going in an opposite direction. Okay, so this is the full cycle, and you can see the full month is really covered in it. But as we get towards the end of the month, it's going to be a lot easier to have clarity to start moving forward. And you will be probably making some very big decisions. If you can hold off until closer to April 10th to make the final decisions, you may find that more information comes to you throughout this time. One of the reasons why you will be having big decisions and big things come up is because March 3rd, we've got that eclipse at 12 degrees of Virgo. This is especially poignant for Pisces because this is part of that Pisces Virgo eclipse cycle that I've been talking about for a while. If you're new to my work, then I'll give you a little summary. At the end of 2024 until the first half of 2027, we're in the process of having the nodes, the north and south transiting nodes in Pisces and Virgo. And when that happens, we're having an eclipse cycle in those signs. This is bringing very, very deep patterns in from your ancestry, from your soul patterning. It's giving you a chance to heal and clear up things that have been a problem for you for a very long time, may have even been a problem genetically or ancestrally for a long time, and helping you to step into your new highest expression. It's very much related to relationships. So in these years, especially with these hot spots as the official eclipses happen, then your relationships are radically changing. New relationships of consequence may have come in since 2024 or now. And relationship endings, different dimensions to current relationships, new ways of being in relationship, your relationship to yourself, or for your with yourself. So it's very, very relationship based, and it's me versus we. It's you versus everyone else, like the things that you need versus what everyone else expects, what you want to show up for versus other people's expectations. And you'll see that there's a very big storyline emerging. And every 6 months, as we have these hot spots of these eclipses, this is happening. When we're looking at eclipses, sometimes it's helpful to understand the patterns at play by looking into the past when this cycle happened last time, because this is very, very, very potent for Pisces placements. So think back to 2015 through 2017. That's when it happened last. And then think back again to 2006 to 2008. That's when it happened prior. And just think about the nature of what was going on in your life. Are there certain themes that were going on at both those points? Were there big things that happened in relationships, births, deaths, marriages, important connections, people of consequence coming in, a different way of working with yourself and who you are and how you present yourself to the world? So, think about those times. Now, very important to note, if something really bad happened then, it doesn't mean that will happen again, okay? Because if it was traumatic then, I don't want you to worry that will happen again, because even though there are patterns at play that could be similar, each period of time astrologically is unique. So there are things happening now that weren't happening then, and things that were happening then that aren't happening now, okay? But this general theme of these massive changes, you may get a little bit of insight. We do also have a new Aquarius Leo eclipse cycle that is happening concurrently, starting to weave in with this Pisces Virgo story. You can hear more about that in the February report. The February report is unique in the way that everything is in one video. I was traveling, so everything is in one video time-stamped, not separate. But you can look back to that to see the other concurrent themes of the other eclipses happening, or eclipse happening now, because those will make their way into manifestation additionally in March. But, it's just very important to know that this is a very, very big month, and the types of things that come in from these eclipses, a lot of times they're non-negotiable. You can't change them. You can't do anything about them. You can't stop the tide. But you may have to make decisions from the information that comes in from these eclipses, and you may think that you have all the information, but especially with the retrograde happening at the same time, you may need some weeks here to get all the information to really decide what you're going to do with the choices that you have to make from what has happened. Okay, and that's where this information about the retrograde can be very helpful, because if you get information right at the beginning of the month and then you try to do something with it, you have to work through this cycle of Mercury kind of waking up and being able to get more clarity, and then moving from the watery energy of Pisces into the action oriented energy of Aries as the month progresses. Okay, so you'll definitely feel that. And that is a full moon eclipse. It is a lunar eclipse. And that is going to happen in your house of partnerships and relationships. So something very notable there. All right, something else that's really big is happening, that Jupiter is going direct on March 10th. A lot of times with aspects or things that go on, there's an exact date we can give you, but there is an orb of time in before and after where you're really feeling this. So I noticed that I start feeling Jupiter getting ready to get direct and do its thing, even a couple of months before, because the whole cycle is 4 months of retrograde. And as we're getting closer to March, like January, you might start feeling it. February, it'll get stronger. Then Jupiter will wake up. And this is going to be a really big deal, because when Jupiter sleeps, a lot of times our optimism, our vision, our bigger picture thinking, our enthusiasm can sort of wane, and you might become a different person or feel like you're not inspired anymore, or, and sometimes it can feel a little dark, but there is this hope-bringing aspect of Jupiter going direct that you may really start to feel, and that, is a layer of what's happening throughout this month. Now, particularly for Pisces, this is waking up in your 5th house. So Jupiter has been in a cycle between around June, July of 2025 until around July of 2026 of expanding. It's a once in 12 year cycle, or 1 year in every 12 years cycle, where it spends in each area of the chart. Okay, so for you, what's wanting to be expanded in that year is, from the middle of last year to the middle of 2026, this year, is your creative spirit, is your energy with children, is your romance. It is said that one of the best chances to find your true love or deepen the true love that you have is when Jupiter is transiting through your 5th house. So if you're looking for love and things were moving slowly, you may find that Jupiter waking up starts to wake up. If there was a relationship cycle and it was going well towards the end of last year and it started to not go well, you may notice that may start to wake back up again. So, this is a good time to be investing in your relationships and showing up for what wants to happen. Now, it's not necessarily a time of great permanence for new relationships for people that you meet at this time, but there are always exceptions, so I don't want to dismiss any possibilities. But be on the lookout for someone who was from your past. Maybe you saw a profile for them on a dating site, or a friend introduced you to them at a party a long time ago, or you knew them in some other context, or you dated them before. Someone from the past may factor in very importantly in your romantic experience now. And this can also be creatively, so it doesn't have to be romantically, or it could be both. And if you're trying to have children and things have been difficult over the last few months, when Jupiter wakes up, that process can also wake up. So just be on the lookout for that. Adding to all of this Pisces energy, on March 18th, you've got the 28-degree new moon in Pisces. So this is a chance for planting seeds for your next 13 moons. This is a chance for going deep to, make an inner decision within yourself. And this month, especially, in the first 3 weeks, is really, really good for these inner decisions, because you can't do that much with some major outer decisions for a little bit here. You'll get more momentum for that soon. But you can make those quiet inner decisions. And this period of time where the new moon is really counts for that. So something else that's really important to know is that a lot of aspects that we have are going to accentuate this 5th house. So your creative spirit, fun, romance, your bucket list, your leadership, things having to do with children. As some of these Pisces planets come and make this beautiful aspect with Jupiter, you're going to have a lot of extra boosts besides Jupiter just waking up. Also, we've got a lot of conjunctions this month. Conjunctions can go either way. They can be great or challenged or both. But there's a massive amount of energy when Venus is going to come and make a conjunction with Neptune, Saturn, and then Chiron. And all of this is going to happen for Pisces in your money house. And Venus also rules love. So this is really a big love month. It's a big matters of the heart month. It's a big money month. very important things may be happening and opportunities may present. And if an opportunity presents, it doesn't mean that you can't do anything with it. And really, the universe kind of wants you to do that. But if you have to make a final decision on it, or if you have to commit to something long term, you may want to let that evolve over the next few weeks, towards the end of the month into April. But definitely don't walk away from opportunities that come at this time, financially and romantically and creatively, because there will be an abundance of those. And, this really could lead to things that develop over time. There may be a lot of resolve around taking care of financial matters, and there may be a lot of very interesting opportunities to do that. If you resonate with my work, please subscribe, click like, and if you want the written star report that I talked about, the March report, then you can go to anniehelpsyou.com and put your name and email address in there. Just click on Unleash and put your info there. And in the welcome letter, it will give you instructions on how to get that monthly sweet and salty date report. If you want to see personalized reports for the outer planets, the ones that move slowly but bring major themes for your chart, go to Annie B. Clarity, Annie, the letter B, clarity.com. And if you want to learn astrology with me, if you resonate with how I teach and you want to learn, either to help you and your family and your friends or to do it professionally, I have an astrology certification course that you can check out at beastropro.com, beastropro.com. I hope you have a wonderful month, and I'll see you next month. Bye.